and gentlemen, let's tackle that area and perimeter question from yesterday. So I posed this to you on Monday morning. What is the area and perimeter of this irregular polygon? I gave you 2 hints. It is a 6-sided shape, and you should partition it into smaller rectangles to calculate the area. Let's look at how to do that. So we have the shape drawn twice, once there and once there. We're actually going to use both of them. Now, the first thing that we've got to figure out on both of these things is what is the measurement of the unknown side. Now, the unknown side, we don't know. That's why it's called the unknown. But we do know a lot of other information about this, like this size is 11 inches. To figure out this side, we've got to look that this side is green. So is that side, and so is that side. So is that number, and so is that question mark. There's a theme there. Now, I made it easy on you by splitting it up into colors. It won't always be done this way. This line goes vertically. That means up and down. So what we need to do is look at other vertical lines. If we put all the other vertical lines together, they will measure this side, because this side extends from here down to here, which is the same distance as here, all the way up to there. If this side is the same size as this side, we can cut this side in half right there. And this portion and that portion. This portion is actually right here. That side portion and that portion are the same size. That is 10 inches long. This portion, if we would take it and we move it over here, you can see that this portion and this portion are the same size. That is 6 inches long. You put this portion and this portion together, and it is the same size as this portion. So to figure out the unknown, we have to add the 2 known parts together. That gives us the numbers 6 inches plus 10 inches, which is 16 inches. Now that we know that this side is 16 inches, we are ready to go through the process of calculating the perimeter. Now, when we look at the perimeter of this one, it's important to note that this is a hexagon. It's a 6-sided shape. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 sides. That means that we're going to have to add 6 numbers together because this shape is a hexagon. So to add the parts together of this hexagon, we need all the numbers. So we've got 16 first, 12, 6, 11, 10, 23. I'm going to double check that. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 numbers. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides. I didn't miss one. That's important. Now, I can add these in a lot of different ways, but I'm going to make it easy on myself, and I'm going to decompose them by place value. So I'm going to first take, let's take this 3 and this 6 and put them together. Yep, this 3 and this 6. So 6, 7, 8, 9. 6 and 3 and this 1. I'm going to put them all together. I'm going to make it 10. Now I'm going to take this 6 and this 2. I'm going to put those together. I'm going to make an 8. Now I've got 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. I've got another 6 10s left over. I'm going to put those together right there. Now, this is pretty easy. I can do 60 plus 10 is 70 plus 8 gives me a total of 78 inches. That is the perimeter, 78 inches. Now what we've got to do is we've got to figure out the area. Now, to do the area of this, you're going to want to partition this irregular polygon into smaller parts, kind of like this. It is easy to calculate the area of a square. It's really difficult to calculate the area of the entire piece when we don't know. So let's partition it. Let's make it smaller parts. So to do area, I've always got to do length times width. So I need to know how long this side is. This side is not 23 inches. 23 inches extends from all the way over there, all the way over here. I stop right there. So I need to know how big this side is. If I follow it up, I'll see that it is actually 11 inches long. It is 11. Now, how long is it on this side? Well, it looks like it's 10. So I'm going to do 11 times 10. So to calculate the area of this one, first I'm going to do 11 times 10. When multiplying by 10, I can just take that 0 and add it to that number, because we're going to take this number, multiply by 1. Anything multiplied by 1 is just that number. Add that 0. 11 times 10 is 110. Pretty easy. Now we got to figure out this portion here. Now for this portion, I need to know the entire length, which we already figured out is 16 inches. Now I need to know this portion right here. Again, not 23. 23 is the entire thing, just the small part. That is 12 inches. So I'm going to end up doing 16 times 12, which seems like a pretty big number to multiply, but it's not, because we're going to use partial products. To do this with partial products, I'm going to decompose my 16 into a 10 and a 6. Then I'm going to take each one of these numbers and multiply it by that 12. It'll look like this. We're going to do 10 times 12, which equals 120. Then I'm going to go 6 times 12. As long as both those numbers, nope, that's a 6. 6 times 12. As long as both those numbers get multiplied by that 12, you will have the right answer. 6 times 12, I don't know off the top of my head. I wish I had somebody here who was really good at multiplication to tell me. Instead, I'm going to have to break this down again. I'll do 6 times 10, which is 60. 6 times 2 is 12. 12 plus 60 is 72. So 6 times 12 is 72. So I've got 120 and 72. I've got to put those numbers together, because remember, I took the 10 and the 6 apart from 16. I have the two products. I've got to put them back together. This is called partial product, or the distributive property. Adding 120 plus 72. I'm just going to go in columns here. 2 plus 0 is 2. 7, 8, 9. 9, I got a 1. It's 192. So we have one portion, which is 192 inches squared, and another portion that is 110 inches squared. To calculate the total, I've got to put those together. To do this one, we did 12 times 16. To put those numbers all together, I've just got to add them. So I get 192 plus my 110. That's going to end up with 302. 2 plus 0 equals 2. 9, 10, 0. Carry that 1. 1, 2, 3. 302. My total area is 302 inches squared. Now we did that one by partitioning that rectangle this way, but you can do it in more than one way. We could have also partitioned our rectangle like that. So let's work the problem by going through that way as well. To do this portion, I've got to calculate what is the total area of this bottom square. So I've got 10 by 23. So I've got to end up doing 10 times 23. 10 times 23. We just discussed how whenever you multiply anything by 10, it's pretty easy. You just add a 0 to the end of that number, because 1 times 23 is 23. And then add that 0, gets you 230 inches squared. That's important. And then over here, I got to calculate the area of this much smaller one, which I can't do the entire side because the entire side goes all the way down, but we stop right there. This portion is 12 by 6. So 12 times 6, which we actually already did down here. So we know that 12 times 6 is 72. So then I've got 72 inches squared and 230 inches squared. I've got to add those together, and I will have my total. 2 plus 0 is 2. 7, 8, 9, 10, 0, 1, 2, 3, 302 inches squared. I worked that problem twice, and both times I got the same answer. That's how I know I'm right. I checked my work. I'm not going to lie. I actually already filmed this one time, and I 100% came out with the wrong answer when I did it because I was distracted by other people that were in the room. Take your time. Focus on what you're doing. Work the problems. You had some problems that were like this on the Prodigy assignment. Some of us did a pretty good job. Some of us kind of struggled. You will find a new Prodigy assignment that is just those kinds of problems coming at you pretty soon. Not today, but it is coming down the chain, so make sure this is a concept you understand. If you're really struggling with it, you can watch this video again. I know, it was riveting, it was exciting. You folks did a great job. I hope you enjoyed your first day. Day 2 is going to be just as good. Have a good afternoon. We'll see you again.